I've learned that I don't.
Oh, I know what I've learned. Yeah.
I learned that I don't miss drinking.
Ah.
Yeah.
Did you drink last night?
I had a couple beers last night.
And you had a beer the night before that.
I had a beer the night before that.
And before that, if you want context, he has not been drinking since May 12th.
Yeah, so like 4.5 months.
It's a long time, including our entire vacation.
Yeah, including our vacation in South America.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing though too, is like, as a comic, generally speaking, I drink free.
Yeah.
You know, and so you think even economically, it's fine for me to drink. But you know, on vacation, I don't want to spend a bunch of money. I'd rather spend that money on us doing stuff than just sitting around drinking.
Yeah.
I had really bad acid reflux waking up Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And then last night, I'm going to tell you the story. Okay. Because I told you I'd save it for the podcast. Now don't react to it until after I tell you the story.
I'll try my best.
Because it's a reminder of why I don't like to drink, but it also is. Anyways, I'll just tell it to you.
Okay.
So I went and saw. I have some friends of mine, Kristen Flamio and the Pretty Bitchin'. They're a band. And they just released a new single. They gave me the rights to one of their songs for my special. So at the end of my special, their music is there. They came to see my special. They've come to see. I was in a play off Broadway. They've come to see the play. I like their music. I go support them. Jericho, their drummer, is one of my close friends. I've known Jericho since I've moved to New York. He was hanging out with a roommate of mine and that's how we met. And then we ran a show.
Is that how you met? Was through Bronson?
No.
Oh.
Through Hannah.
Wow.
Yeah. Hannah and Jericho were going to Mike's together and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I met Jericho through her.
Interesting.
And then me and Jericho became fast friends. He had a show called Bushwick Bears with another comic that was from Tucson, which is where Jericho's from. And then that comic eventually moved back to Michigan to go become a traveling nurse. And I took over for that person. Then Jericho and I ran Bushwick Bears together for years.
Yeah.
I mean, every Sunday in Bushwick, it was just one of the best. It was one of those bar shows, if you're, in comedy, where one week it's terrible, the next week it's the greatest show you've ever seen. Either nobody's there or everybody's there.
Right. And
we've had big name comics on the show who are super famous now. They were famous then. They're famous now.
Yeah.
And he got out of comedy during the pandemic because he was doing comedy and music, and now he's a drummer in like 3 bands. So I went to go see his band play at this art gallery in South Slope, Brooklyn. And it was an art gallery. It's just a big space, with some art hanging on the walls. And it was like basically kind of 3 rooms. It was $30, but it was open bar,
Open bar. Wow.
Open bar. They had a bunch of different like beers.
Right.
And then they had some tequila and some, what were they taking a shot? Oh, Rumpelmans.
Yum.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't do any of that, but I had a Yingling and like a beer. So anyway, so how the show went was there are a couple of other artists who were opening up, and then Jericho and his band played a set, and then they were taking a break. There was burlesque during the break, and then they were playing a closing set. And so now I'd had a beer. I was on my second beer when they stopped playing their first set and they're taking a break. So everybody goes outside, right? And now this is on 24th Street in Brooklyn, 24th Street and 4th Ave. It's kind of by the 278 BQE highway, but it's a residential area. Okay. So at one point in time, there's like 40 of us standing outside, having beers, hooting and hollering, smoking, whatever everybody's like kind of doing out there. You know what I mean? And then somebody comes out and says, hey, the burlesque is starting. If anybody wants to come in and like just, watch that and, support the artist.
Titties.
Instead, I'm supporting art, dear.
Yeah.
And I didn't go in because I'm married.
Oh,
and anyways, and so we're standing outside, and now there's like maybe 10 of us who are standing outside. right? And I got a beer in my hand. I'm talking to Jericho's girlfriend. We're talking about Billy.
Oh.
And a cop car rolls up. Right?
You have a beer in your hand?
Let me finish the story. Let me finish the story before you start with this. So I have a beer in my hand. Yes. The cop rolls up, right? 3 cops get out. Okay. And he walks up. There's a lead cop, clearly the oldest guy. There's 2 younger cops who are with him. Okay. The first cop gets out. He's the lead cop. He's got the most chevrons on his sleeve. You know, he's the highest ranking guy. And he goes, man, I don't know. This is verbatim what he said. I don't know why they call 311. He goes, again, on you guys. He goes, let me just go inside, talk to the manager, remind him that everybody's supposed to be inside. Mm-hmm. Right. And so the cop, he just walks into the building.
Yeah.
Right. Now somebody let him in. Somebody opened up the door for him. He clearly had established a relationship with the guy who managed the place.
Right.
Okay. So that cop walks in, and I'm standing next to this woman who she's related to the band.
Okay.
Okay. And for whatever reason, she gets a wild hair up her ass.
Oh God.
And she goes, all right, I'm sorry. Do you even have permission to come in here? And she goes, I don't think you should be coming in here without actually even talking to anybody. And I'm like, oh, great. I turn and look the opposite direction because it's like, I know what you're trying to get at, white lady, is that you're trying to really stick it to the man in this moment. But this cop is being cool.
Yeah.
Right? Now, she's addressing the 2 cops who are outside.
Yeah.
And the one cop is like, hey, we're not here to execute a warrant. We're not here to shut you guys down. We have been called by one of these other tax-paying citizens who live in this neighborhood while there's 30 of you drunk idiots outside making noise at 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? And so she goes inside. Her and her friend go inside. They both had drinks, right? And she starts chirping even more at this cop. And this one cop looks around and he looks at me. He goes, what are you drinking? And I go, I got a beer. He goes, I need your license. He took my license, right? And now I'm like, he starts running my stuff or whatever. The other cop goes, you ever been arrested before, ticketed, anything like that? And I was like, yep, plenty of times. He goes, you got anything outstanding right now? I said, no. I said, the last time I got in trouble was about, 9 years ago now? And I had an unpaid $25 ticket. I got all that stuff's been taken care of. I'm in the good, you know?
Yeah.
I just got this license. And so, you know, I'm talking to him for a second, and this guy's taking down my information. He brings out the iPad or whatever, like their tablet, you know. And I said, hey man, I was like, I understand you guys are just here to do your job. I said, but I want to be honest with you. I really think that this guy is mad because that girl gave him attitude about you guys just doing your job when you said what it was that you were here to do.
Who are you saying this to? You said it in front of the guy?
I said it to the cop.
But you said it in front of the guy that was like, that you were calling mad?
No, what guy? No. There was a girl. The girl, I was standing outside.
Who was checking your information?
There were 2 cops.
Right.
One cop was checking my information. He had a tablet, and I'm saying it to the other cop.
In front of the guy that's checking your information.
Yes,
that's
they're both right there. Yeah,
yep,
they're both right there.
Okay.
And the initial cop that was asking me those questions, he was not the one who was running my ID. He was just working. They're working in tandem here.
Okay.
And I said, listen, you know, I think that you guys are upset because she gave you attitude about this stuff, which I understand. You guys are just here to do your job. You stated explicitly what you came here to do.
Yeah.
I'm just here. I'm friends with the band. I'm just outside chilling. I didn't know like this wasn't allowed because they're, you know, whatever else. He goes, well, it is at the discretion of the cop, you know, and we can choose whether or not to exercise discretion about this or whatever. And I'm like, I get that, man. I really do. But I was like, I'm not the one who's giving you attitude.
Exactly.
I'm the one who's just out here chilling. When she started popping off, I just turned the other direction. And I go, listen, I'm not one of these guys who's like yelling at you guys in the street, or whatever. And I'm not, I to be candid, I don't like cops. I'm not a cop supporter. I'm not a back the blue guy.
You said this to them?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying this between you and I.
Okay.
I don't like cops. I don't like world in which cops exist, but it's the unfortunate world in which we live in.
Yeah.
And these guys, like, all right, say they give up being cops. What are they going to do now? Like, there's no jobs. So anyways.
Farming.
Yeah. They can go code.
Yeah.
And so the guy goes, hey, I understand, and I empathize with you. And the other guy is still just like, he has my ID.
Right.
I'm just going through my head and I'm like, God damn it, man.
Right.
I was like, I'm about to pay however much money and
Right.
go into court in Brooklyn over having what is now a $15 beer.
Right.
Right. So you take that $15 because I only had 2 beers. I paid $30.
Right.
And now I'm going to compound that by, I don't know, $125 in tickets and time out of my day. And the cop who had my license, he just handed it back to me. He goes, we're cool, man.
Wow.
I know. And I was like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go inside now.
Wow.
And I reasoned my way out of
really did.
a ticket. Now, the girl who went inside, she was real proud of herself because she didn't see anything that happened with me. She was real proud of herself walking around the party being like, yeah, I just told the cops what's up sort of thing. And I like this girl. I know this girl.
Yeah.
I like her. She's cool. But she didn't get the full, I'm the one who caught the ire of the cop.
Yeah, you caught the bullet.
Right. Now the manager finally came back, the guy who owns and runs the space.
Yeah.
And he was fucked up. He was drunk and probably on drugs. And sorry, guy, if you ever happen to see this, that's the impression he gave me.
Yeesh.
Was that you were fucked up. And he came in and he came stumbling up and the cops talked to him. And the one cop just kind of took him aside. He's like, you got to quit doing this shit, man.
For
sort
real.
of thing. You know what I mean? And so then the manager comes in. Now the manager is in there. And he's talking to like his girlfriend and her friends, and they all start looking at me. And they start giving me the stank eye of like, and then all of a sudden I see one person whisper to another person, and then somebody just starts like looking over at me. Like I was the one who was causing problems and I was the one giving grief to the cops. And I just felt like targeted now. And I felt like I was the one who was like causing the problems, even though I had to talk my way out of the ticket. I'm not the person running around the party gloating that I just told the cops to fuck off to other ironic whites. And now I'm like being painted as the bad guy here, right?
By the manager?
Yeah, he came up and he said something to me because I was in line for the bathroom. He said something to me and the guy next to me about why I don't know why everybody can't just chill out or whatever. But he was just so fucked up and he was just like, whatever, And I was like, you know what? I've had a couple of beers. It's already 11 something. My buddy was going back on. I hung out for like another song or two, but I was like, I'm gonna get out of here. And I just went home after that,